Hello, hello. This is Casey Byers, your residential marketing chaos major from South by Southwest for the University of Denver's 2023 trip. Let's get on this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you are seeing this, that means that I have survived day 3 and is on to making videos about it. My social battery is non-existent. Anyways, let's get on this. So, the first session that I had was about deepfakes to Dolly, real rules to fake media, which was essentially talking about deepfakes, where we're at now with it, what issues we're finding in with it, and how to turn the bad into good, or at least hypothetically where to turn the bad into good. The big concerns that got brought up was if this is only a bad thing, then how are we going to know as a society which ones are good, which ones are bad, as tech gets stronger? And how are we going to know when to trust media about big important things? Like, natural disasters, wars, what all you decide to be somber about. But the positive side, which is already being utilized by BBC, is helping obtain, keeping people anonymous when it comes to big things that could possibly put them in danger for speaking out about it, which is a good way to utilize it. But even then, it's worrying about the augmentations of reality if that can be done. The big takeaway was, whatever happens, there's going to need to be a line that needs to be drawn, either legally, societally, what have you, and we are all going to have to agree that we need to follow it. Otherwise, it's going to be a train wreck. On to the next one. For the second one, I went to Anatomy of a Fan, Harnessing Loyalty, Insights, and Emerging Technology. All in all, it was pretty good. There were interesting points made, but I guess I didn't really research this session well, because it was all about baseball, utilizing this. Which, I mean, you can glean things for other medias, other sports, or areas of the market, but as someone who calls almost every sport that has some form of ball with it sports ball, and me knowing almost nothing about sports, I was very lost when it came into details about where it was being utilized. But the one thing that I did glean from all of the sports and fan talk, which, I mean, makes sense, was a company called Around, which is learning and utilizing tech like, I believe, VR or some similar based technology. They didn't really go into a lot of detail as to how they made it. They can help those that are like me, who don't really get or understand the sports, but wants to be there for moral support, to have them participate and gamify the sport. Like, there was one that they were describing where you could try, like, throwing a ball and the speed would be calculated, and whoever got the fastest in the game won something at the stadium, which, I mean, was interesting. And it shows a possibility for other sports and developments as well. But right now it seems like it's focusing more so on baseball. And an interesting fact that came up was the Twins baseball game. Not Twins baseball team. I swear I know that much. It was the first either baseball team or anyone in the sport industry ever to make a metaverse activation, which was during COVID and had people shown through, I believe, the Hall of Fame for one of their bigger events. But yeah, it was pretty interesting, all considering. On to the next one. So the third one that I partook in was called Animation's New Horizon, the Real-Time Revolution. This one was really interesting. It was mainly with a animator named Patrick, who is a character animator that worked with Sony for a few years, a decade with Disney, and he did a lot of like VR, I believe retroscoping, and doing like essentially puppeteering in a way for animation, which is essentially, if I'm looking at the screen, it's going to analyze my face and what else is in the picture, and then you can create a character, puppet, avatar, whatever you want to call it, and it will move with the points that have been scanned out through me talking. And then it will get a 3D image throughout the full point, because you'll have cameras everywhere. And then you can essentially use motion stop, or, oh gosh, what is it called? I think retroscoping? Whatever it is, where someone's connected with all the balls and everything on a suit and is moving around, and then people can do CGI and animate off of it. Essentially doing that, except if the whole thing's like planned out correctly, that could be all you really need to do, save for like a few background tweaks, little points here and there, but for the most part, that's all you'd need to do. But with this, there is one company utilizing this called SxSW, which is a global creative studio that does episodes, it does movies, it does brand content and immersive content, which they showed one that was used for, not Beastie Boys, whatever band it was that was Good Feelings Inc. But they did it in Times Square. It was really interesting. You'll see the video of it happening probably at some point in this video, because it was nice. But yeah, it was very interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens more so in the industry. On to the last one. For the last session of the day, I did a session that was talking about utilizing TikTok and how to make it work for you aside from algorithms, and I think that has probably been the most disappointing one that I've been to so far, which I think is pretty sad, because I'm wanting to get into social media marketing. I'm wanting to do copyright. I'm a marketing major, and yet TLDR, the whole to this experience could have just been, don't go in expecting to immediately go viral on TikTok, and know what social media platform you're going into and know the audience. That could have been all. Well, I guess it means I'm getting a good education at DU when it comes to marketing, considering that was a no kidding hour-long session. Well, tomorrow will be day 4, and we'll see what that has in store. Hopefully better than that one. Bye!